Good morning, students. Today we will, in the last part of our current topic, how do organisms reproduce. We have already finished so far a sexual reproduction in plants, and now today we will discuss about the reproduction process in human beings. In related with that, we have several points for discussion. Number 1, puberty. Number 2, sexual dimorphism. Number 3, male reproductive system. Number 4, female reproductive system. And lastly, reproductive health. So it is the points for today's discussion. Let's now start from this here. What is puberty? You well know that during the process of growth and development, overall growth and development takes place for the organisms. The growth in the plant and the growth in the animal different. There is an indefinite growth in the plant, and there is a somewhat different growth in the animals. During this growth and development, a time will come when there is a rapid growth taking place for the germinal parts or the reproductive parts of the body, whereas the growth is slower one, the rest of the body, that is in the somatic part of the body. At that time, that is the crucial time for the organism, for the species, and that time what will happen? The age at which reproductive organs become functional. What is the meaning of when we talking that reproductive organs become functional? When it will become functional? When it will become mature, then it will become functional. When its growth completed, and after completion of its growth it got maturity, then its function will be started. So that is the age at which reproductive organs become functional. That is the gonads. Here the word gonads means for both male and female, reproductive parts or organs are the germinal parts where from the germ cells are produced. That is, gonads start producing gametes. Like from the male gonads, there is a formation of male germ cell, male gamete, and from female gonads like ovaries, there is a formation of female germ cell. And the sex hormones, you have an idea about these sex hormones in the hormones chapter. When you have studied about the animal hormone, at that time you have learned that from the testes and from the ovaries there are secretions of sex hormones in male and female, like testosterone, estrogen and progesterone. So these are the hormones which start to secrete, and the boys and girls become sexually mature. It's called puberty. Generally females attain puberty at the age of 10 to 12 years, whereas males attain it at the age of 13 to 14 years. After the attainment of the puberty, there will be changing in the body, and that changing will be noticed by the organisms. What are those changing both in male and female? Let us see what are those changes separately in case of the male and in case of the female. There are some changes both in male and female are common, and there are some changes which are uncommon. Here are some features of pubertal changes in males and females, like widening of shoulders, deepening of voice, growth of axillary and pubic hair, appearance of bird and mustache, growth of sex organs, testes, and enlargement of penis, oily skin leading to pimples. And there are some pubertal changes in female. These pubertal changes, which are occurring both in male and female, are known as the secondary sexual characteristic features. And widening of pelvis and hips, high pitch or sweet voice, growth of axillary and pubic hair, enlargement of mammary glands, darkness around the nipples, initiation of menstrual cycle, oily skin leading to pimples. These are the some features of the pubertal changes in male and female. And these changes are such changes which differentiate between the male and female in case of the human, and it is the sexual dimorphism. Let us know what is sexual dimorphism. Here are a brief idea about the sexual dimorphism. When male and female individuals are differentiated externally, the phenomenon is called sexual dimorphism. Human beings show sexual dimorphism. The characters which distinguish them are the secondary sexual characters. Humans are unisexual, that means male and female sexes are separate. You have an idea about the bisexual also, which is also known as hermaphrodite. In case of the plant, you have studied about this. Now, after this discussions, we shall start our main points today, that is the male and female reproductive system. If we want to know about the human reproductive system, then it will be essential to know about the male and female reproductive system separately. Here, the male reproductive system and its important component parts. Depending upon the functions, if we will see the different parts, then the parts are as like primary sex organs, a pair of testes. This is known as the primary sex organ, as because it is the organ which is responsible for production of sperm or the male germ cell. That means male primary sex organ is testis, a pair of testis present. And the second important thing is the duct. When there is a formation of sperm, how that sperm will carry, there is a duct system present in the reproductive system of the male. In female also there is duct system. That duct system has several functions, like when we are talking about the passage or the conduction of the sperm, it will carried out by the duct system. When we are talking about the temporary storage of the sperm or the male germ cell, it will carried out by the duct system. Similarly, there are passage for delivery of the germ cell to the different parts or to the finally to the vagina, the female reproductive part. The duct system will carry the male germ cell. Here epididymis, vas deferens and urethra, these are the three important duct system which are present in the reproductive system of the male. And glands like the seminal vesicles and prostate gland. What is the function of glands? From here, if you will see the function, the testes are the primary sex organ. That means it is responsible for the production of male germ cell, and it is also responsible for the secretion, it has the endocrine function also, and it secretes the male sex hormones, and that hormone will regulate and control the secondary sexual characteristic features, and also that hormone regulate the formation, that means the gametogenesis process. Similarly, here the function of the duct system is the delivery of the germ cell, and the temporary storage, and the conduction, that is the delivery. And the glands, what the functions of gland? Gland will perform important function in regard to the male reproductive part, as the provide nourishment to the germ cell, providing nourishment, lubrication and motility to the germ cells. And lastly, the copulatory organ. In the reproductive system of human, there is in the male side there is a copulatory organ which is responsible for the delivery of the sperm to the vagina, to the female reproductive tract. So that is why here the entire system, if we will distribute, then the first one is the primary sex organ, second one is the duct system, the third one is the glands, and the fourth one is the copulatory organ. Now let us see about the important features of some important parts of the system. Here look about the short description of primary sex organs of male. It is a pair of testes, singular, it is known as testis. These are small sized, oval shaped and pinkish colored, located outside the abdominal cavity in a muscular pouch which is called the scrotum. Why it is located in the scrotum? As because it keeps the testis at a temperature lower than the body temperature. What about that lower temperature? That is maybe less than the body temperature, about 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. Here is some structural descriptions of the testis, like it contains a number of highly convoluted tubules which is known as seminiferous tubules. Here may you look, seminiferous tubules. This seminiferous tubules is just like that. You have also seen in the case of the kidney, the convoluted tubules which composed the kidney, which is known as uriniferous tubules. May you compare what is seminiferous and what is uriniferous tubule. Now, sperm. Sperm occupy the central part of the lumen of tubules. In between tubules, a mass of cells called Leydig cells are located. These Leydig cells are the cells which related with the endocrine function. That means these are the endocrinal cells. That means it will secrete sex hormones, that is the testosterone. Another type of cell also present in this part, and that is the cells of Sertoli or the Sertoli's cells. It is also known as are also present, which provide nutrition, mechanical support and protection to the developing germinal cells. Germinal cell, germ cell, sorry, to the germ cell, developing germ cell of the male. This is the short description of the male reproductive organ of the female, that is the primary sex organ of male, not female, male, that is the testis. Now after that, after this, there are duct system which carry the sperm, what I have told, which stores the sperm, and there are the different types of glands associated with this system. Now first look about what you will write about its function. So the two functions, the formation of sperm, that is the male germ cell, and the secretion of male hormones testosterone. When a ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ गैमेटोजेनेसिस, जब गैमेट बनने का समय होता है जिसको हम लोग गैमेटोजेनेसिस कहते हैं, तो एक मैच्योर स्पर्म जो गैमेटोजेनेसिस के द्वारा बनता है तो उसे उस मैच्योर जर्म सेल जो स्पर्म है उसे स्पर्माटोजोआ भी कहते हैं. इट इज़ ओनली फॉर योर नॉलेज. तो नाउ वी विल go ahead and look about the different parts of the system. Here is the diagram for the male reproductive system, and I hope you will try from this diagram to understand about the different associated parts of the system. The primary parts, the primary sex organ here is the testis, and the other parts which are located, that are distributed in the duct system and the gland and the cupulatory organ, like here is the penis cupulatory organ. Here I have given a short description, not in a detail, as because if you will study it in detail, it will be a vast and a burden to you. That's why I just introduction to know about the part and their important function. So here the epididymis is the first one that you have may see in case of the reproductive system. It is laterally located inside the adjacent to the testis. Understand? And it is the first tube, that is the duct system, which carry the sperm. It can also store the sperm temporarily, and the first difference is the main duct system that will responsible for conduction of sperms. Earlier I have told you the duct system perform the two important functions: storage of the sperm at the germ cell and the conduction. So that is why here also, and this one is the common passage for both sperm and urine, but not at both are not passed at the same time, separately. So here is the urethra, and the two glands here, the seminal vesicles and the prostate gland. The seminal vesicles one pair gland, and the prostate gland is a single gland. These two glands, the secretion of these two glands gives nourishment, that means provide nutrition to the germ cells, provide lubrication and the motility. These are the main functions, and I have not written the function. May you consider the functions what I am telling you. And the penis, it is the cupulatory organ in the male. The pointed sensitive part is known as the glands, which are covered with the folded skin, perpuce. So these are the some facts about the male reproductive system. Now look about the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system. Here the different parts of the female reproductive system, like that of the male. Here we also see the three important distinct parts. In case of the male there are four, but here in case of the female there are three, like primary sex organ, that is the one pair of ovaries. This one pair of ovaries, what is the function? The important, as it is the primary sex organ, it is responsible for formation of female germ cell, that is the ova or egg. Okay. Now come to know about the different other parts, that is the first one, duct system. Each and every part here, maximum, that is the duct system. Here is the one pair of fallopian tube. You may look here, fallopian tube. It is also known as oviduct. It is also known as oviduct. Understand? Oviduct, a pair of fallopian tube. This fallopian tube is now, it is the broader part. May you look here, this broader part, that is the uterus. It is also known as womb, and it is the part where what will happen here, there is a implantation of fetus, that is the developing embryo, attachment with the mothers, and that is also, it is, that's why it is known as ovum, and the placentation, that means the disc tissue, that is the placenta, will present here, that will attach the developing embryo to the mother for the nourishment, for the oxygen, that means the respiration, and for the removal of the waste materials. And here I have missed here that the fallopian tube, it is the part that is responsible for the site of fertilization. That means when there is a encountering of male gamete with the female gamete take place, that fertilization will occur within this fallopian tube. The ovary and the ova will produce outside. Here there is a fimbriae like structure, that means this like finger like structure projection that will pick up the egg which produced each and every month from one side each, and after picking this ova or egg, it will push to the fallopian tube, and when there is a insemination, that means when there is a introduction of sperm within the vagina, and when the sperm will move and come to this side, then there will be a chance for the fertilization, and here is that is the uterus. And now come to know about the other duct part, like the cervix, that the narrow part, and when cervix the last part of the uterus, that means the uterus will open into the narrow part cervix, and the cervix again will enter into the another duct system, that is the vagina, and a pair of mammary glands are present that will provide milk, that means baby can feed with that. And this in this particular system there are important functions, like when you are talking about the ovaries, the important function is the formation of germ cell, female germ cell, and besides that will also functions as the endocrine, and that will secrete the female sex hormone like the estrogens and progesterone, that will regulate the secondary sexual characteristic features and the ovulation process, as well as all the other related process with the reproduction, that will be regulated by the secretions of the sex hormones. The duct system, which are the system that will store the gamete, where the fertilization occur, where there is a implantation and there is a placentation, that means the development of the fetus, and there is a this is the vagina, which is also known as birth canal, as the baby child will be liberated from this canal, from this duct system. Now some other parts and the important functions may you give you here. Now look here, the important functions of the important parts of the female reproductive system. Here earlier you have seen the functions of the ovaries, the main sex organs of the female, which is responsible for the formation of female germ cell, and the sex hormones related with the reproductive system. And now the uterus, and after that you have seen the fallopian tube or oviduct. That means the main functions of the fallopian tube or oviduct is the site of fertilization. After picking up the ova or egg, it is the site for fertilization. Now it has the three important functions here you may see of uterus: implantation, placentation, and fetal development. Now we are talking about the upper two, the implantation, the attachment of embryo to the uterus wall is known as implantation. When there is a fusion of gametes, that means the fertilization occurs within the fallopian tube, zygote has formed, that zygote repeatedly undergoes mitotic cell division, and that is known as cleavage. After the cleavage, a type of cell, ball of a type of cell, that is the ball like structure formed after the repeated division, and that will now move to the uterus, that is the embryo. The attachment of embryo to the uterus wall is known as implantation. And what is placentation? After implantation, a disc like a special tissue develops between the uterine walls and embryo, which is called placenta, and this is the placenta. What is the function of this? The exchange of nutrients, oxygen and waste products between the embryo and mother take place through the placenta. Now the vagina, site of copulation, and also it is known as birth canal, because young one comes out from uterus through this muscular tube. It opens outside by vaginal aperture. The opening of the vagina may be covered with a membrane that is known as hymen, and during the first intercourse it will rupture, and may it also rupture due to the strenuous physical work. Understand? And now come to know some more facts about the process of reproduction, and thereafter we will move towards the reproductive health. Here is a diagram of sperm, that means the male germ cell. You may look here, a mature spermatozoa, that means the germ cell, is about 60 micrometer long motile cell. You have earlier learned that what is the feature of the male germ cell and female germ cell. Male germ cell is smaller one and not nutritive but motile, whereas the female germ cell are the larger one, laden with the nutritive materials and non-motile. Here is the description. Here it will be divisible. This motile germ cell is divisible into the two important parts, head and tail. But here is a narrow neck is also present. The head is capped with acrosome. This is a structure, and this is the head which comprises the main part, that is the nucleus. It is the genetic material. In this part is the genetic material, chromatin material, and this is capped by acrosome. This capping, which is known as acrosome, helping when the sperm will encounter and penetrate the ovum. And here is a narrow neck and the tail. The tail is again, here is the middle piece, principal piece and the end piece, and this is the tail. Now what is semen? You have seen in case of the male reproductive system that the system comprising the different glands. From that gland, what are the secretions? That secretions help in the mobility, in the lubrication and the nourishment of the male germ cell, and that is why that secretion mixes with the sperm, the germ cell, and it is known as the semen. And this semen when in a one single ejaculation there is a secretion of about 3 to 5 milliliter of the semen, in which there is a 10% about sperm is present. Out of this 3 to 5 milliliter of secretion of semen. So this is the some important facts about the male, regarding the male reproductive system. Now come to the last part of the topic, that is the reproductive health. Just to look here, the reproductive health. This is a very important part in this sense, and in present scenario that just like in case of the in class 9 you have studied in the why do we fall ill topic, how who define health, a state of well-being, and in that state of well-being includes the social, physical, emotional, economical well-being. Here, similar to that, reproductive health, according to who, it means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical. All aspects of reproduction, that is physical. That means the puberty has, after the attainment of puberty, there is a regular formation of the gametes, both in the male and female, and all the aspects which you have just seen, which are going on in a normal way and not emotional and social and behavioral. These all things are the state of well-being in regard to the reproduction. Now, a guideline has provided by who. This is very important to look about this guideline. After knowing with all this fact, may you aware why should you learn this topic or this chapter. Number one, overpopulation, its ill effects and need to control it. ये तो आप देख रहे हैं कि सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट अभी फैक्टर यही है जिसके कारण लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड का पूरा लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड डिपेंड कर रहा है। ओवर पॉपुलेशन, अगर अधिक पॉपुलेशन हमारे यहाँ, इसलिए हमारे यहाँ पॉवर्टी है, गरीबी है और भूखमरी है और हमारा लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड अच्छा नहीं है, अच्छा स्पेस रहने को नहीं मिल रहा, अच्छा खाना नहीं मिल रहा। तो ये सारी समस्याएं खड़ी हो रही हैं केवल ओवर पॉपुलेशन के कारण। अब उसके बाद देखिए सेकंड पॉइंट है नॉलेज ऑफ रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स एंड एसटीडीज। टू नो अबाउट योर रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट्स, देयर इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शंस and how that will be regulated and what are the important things, that is the other metabolic activities. It cannot impact directly on the other metabolic activities, but a lot of energy is spent, and how that will be controlled, how that will be during the after the attainment of puberty, how we will restrain ourselves from the various different abuses of the sex related things. Here the knowledge of reproductive organs and STDs, sex education and awareness about reproduction, birth control devices, care of mother and child, prevention of sex abuse and sex related crimes. These are the some guidelines. Under this guideline we have to know about the reproductive health, and if we will follow these guidelines, then there is a well-being, state of well-being in respect to the reproduction, also in respect to the reproductive health also. And now in out of this the two important part we will may go through that important part. What are that? That is the birth control devices. Here from that, here it is important for us, yes, because it is included. And the second important thing, that is the sexually transmitted diseases. Now look about the different birth control devices and the STDs. Here, what is the objective of family planning? Actually, the family planning, it is to be taught that family planning cannot be achieved unless until we cannot aware with the education. That means we must educate the people about the reproductive health, about the different parts of the reproduction and what are their impacts during the attainment of the puberty, and when the girls become pregnant, how they will care about their fetus which are developing in their womb. Everything without education it is not possible. And the contraception, it is the contraception, it is the avoidance of pregnancy by preventing the fertilization of ovum. The different methods of contraceptions are as follows. Number 1, withdrawal technique. Number 2, barrier methods are mechanical. It is also useful in preventing the sexually transmitted diseases like the AIDS, like the syphilis, like the gonorrhea, etc. You may see later on what are those diseases. Here you can only see about the different ways for the avoidance of pregnancy. Now look about the other method. Here look about other different devices which included under the barrier method or mechanical. The next one is here, diaphragm, intrauterine contraceptive device. You may go through these short notes of that devices. Chemical methods, here the another way, it is not the mechanical, it is the chemical way. Spermicides, this is a type of paste which are used before the intercourse. It is to be applied in the vagina, and when there is a ejaculation takes place, when there is a insemination, the ejaculated sperms will die due to the utilization, due to the applications of this paste in the vagina. This is the oral contraceptive or birth control pills which are taken usually by female, and there are some other surgical methods, and in that way this is the first vasectomy where the vas deferences are cut, and the other fallopian tubes, and maybe the removal of testes, and maybe the removal of ovaries. All are these under the category of the surgical method. Here few more surgical methods here. May you go through this. And now come to this sexually transmitted diseases. The diseases which caused by physical contact and which are caused by due to the unsafe sex is the sexually transmitted diseases. Gonorrhea and the syphilis. These two diseases are caused by the bacteria, and what type of bacteria responsible for, I have written the scientific name of that bacteria here. Both are the bacterial diseases here I have written, and there are some few symptoms here also for this. There are some common symptoms of these two, and that's why I have written only the symptoms here, a single symptom. And now after that, two more diseases may you see about the casual organisms and the different facts about that disease. After the bacterial diseases, there are two diseases which are sexually transmitted diseases and caused by the virus. It is the common which you well know about this, and it is the genital warts. Human is responsible virus, casual virus here, human papilloma virus. In short form it is also known as HPV. Just like HIV, HPV. And here are some symptoms like the swellings in genital area, itching or discomfort in genital area, bleeding with intercourse. Here are some, these are the STDs. Now अब इस टॉपिक में या इस पार्ट में जो हम लोग अभी तक पढ़ रहे थे, चलते चलते ये एक पॉइंट यहाँ पे देख ले आप. व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन द एग इज़ नॉट फर्टिलाइज्ड, menstruation. इसे you well know that after the fertilization, the fertilized egg, that is the zygote, undergo mitotic division, and thereafter it will come to the uterus for implantation. And if during the process of implantation, or when there is a placentation occurs, at that time there is some changing. That changing is the anatomical changing, that changing is the physiological changing as well as, and that due to that reason, each and every month as the gamete, female germ cell produced, the uterus also itself prepare to receive the fertilized egg. But if the fertilization do not occur, at that time the lining becomes thick and spongy when they prepare for the receiving of the fertilized egg. But if there is no fertilization, then there is a breaking of the uterus lining, produces blood along with other tissues which are present in the uterus, and this blood and other tissues come out of the vagina in the form of bleeding. The phenomenon is known as menstruation or menstrual flow. The monthly bleeding, commonly called period, or it is maybe in short form mens also known, it is mens, occurs every 28 days and it usually lasts for about 2 to 8 days. So this is the some fact. If there is no fertilization, what will happen to the uterus, and how the flow, that is the monthly bleeding, which is known as the period, started within the female body. And you have learned it also in the puberty, that there are initiations of the menstrual cycle when there is an attainment of the puberty. जब puberty हो जाता है तो फिर वहाँ वो स्टार्ट हो जाता है ऐसा होना। और इस पूरे प्रोसेस में जो है हम ये देख पाए हैं कि किस तरह से मेल और फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम और उसके डिफरेंट पार्ट्स वर्क करते हैं, फंक्शंस करते हैं। और हम लोगों ने कुछ रिप्रोडक्टिव हेल्थ के बारे में भी देखा, पढ़ा, WHO का गाइडलाइन को भी हम लोगों ने स्टडी किया। और इन दिस वे नाउ दिस topic is completed. The chapter how do organisms reproduce has now ended.